Hey everyone, welcome to another unboxing, and this one hits right in my wheelhouse for my price range. This cost me $5, so can't get much better than that. This particular box, or this set rather, made it to Jabs' number 6 all-time worst card sets. So that's why it's so cheap. There are no rookies in here whatsoever to speak of. So it's just the fun of opening packs and reminiscing about the players you used to watch when you were younger. And of course, we're talking about the 1991 Donruss Series 1. Series 2 wasn't much better. In fact, Series 2 was worse because it came in a green box and the card borders were green instead of blue. At least the blue's a little bit more tolerable. The green ones, quite frankly, were hideous. So, like I said, I went to the local card store, bought this for $5. It's still got the wrapping on it, Donruss. I don't know if they wrapped it, whether somebody else wrapped it or whatever, but obviously nobody's searching these things because there's nothing valuable in them. You got a Willie Stargell puzzle, but that's not all that wonderful. Donruss Leaf product. So not a whole lot to say about it except it's affordable. It's in my price range, and it's fun to do some cracking. Now, I don't have the fancy box cutters like some of the big channels have. I use my old-fashioned scissors. So we'll get that plastic off of here and get the cracking. 36 packs in the box. And like I said, you're really talking no value whatsoever than sentimental value. We'll open this up the way it looked in the card stores back in the day. In the grocery stores or the drug stores or whatever. The display would kind of look, if I can get it right. Maybe I don't have this right here. Hold on. Let's see, I think you got to pop this out. Tell I haven't done this in a while. There we go. So let's pan up here a little bit, and that's kind of the way it would look in the drugstore or the grocery store. It does not have a price on the pack, so I don't know how much they were back in the day. I'm sure you can probably buy, I don't think anybody even sells a pack of these because it's not worth it. But like I said, I got this whole box for $5, so I figured, even though it's all junky cards, can't go wrong because you get the fun of opening packs. There is no gum in this. It's strictly a piece of the Willie Stargell puzzle that's in here. 15 cards per pack. And like I said, there's nothing magnanimous about this. It's just simply what it is. And you get to look at some of the players from back in the day and maybe bring some memories back from players maybe you've forgotten about over the course of time. You never know. They have the Diamond Kings, but that's really not anything wonderful there either. So let me bring this down just a hair so that we can get a look at the cards and see what we've got. And like I said, not exactly a high price item at $5, but definitely affordable for my budget. So there used to be a show on public television back in the day called Cooking Cheap. This is collecting cheap, maybe, if you want to call it that. There's the piece of the Willie Stargell puzzle. Now, I used to like the pirate uniforms back in the early 70s when they had this kind of a old gold with black uniform style. I would love for them to go back to that. Also love stirrup socks. That was a big thing back in the day when I was a kid. I used to love wearing stirrup socks in Little League. Wish they go back to that look, but it's probably never going to happen. All right, so here's a look at the card. You do have the logo. There, it's a blue border, like I said. I'm not sure what some of these little sprinkle things are for. The back of the card, pretty basic for Donruss. It gives you little highlights and whatnot. So, like I said, these cards are not anything, valuable. But look at some of the players. Greg Olson was a top rookie out of Auburn that the Orioles picked up, and in their why not, let's see if I can get it focused here, first of all. In their why not year of 1989, he had a 1.69 ERA and 27 saves. That was the year that they went from that terrible 88 team to almost winning the AL East in 89. So, good one to have there, even though it's not worth anything. It's just a common. Bergman. Tino Martinez, rookie. Now, Tino had a good career, but I'm sure his rookie card here for rated rookie is not worth a whole lot. But it's still nice to have. I'll set the rated rookies aside just to see what they collect as later, or see who comes in there as a rated rookie. Tom Foley, and I love the old Expos uniforms. Gerald Clark, Bob Welch All-Star. They have the little All-Star, not a whole lot of glamour to it, but just a little All-Star thing there. Spike Owen, another Expo. Charlie Huff, the old man, throwing that knuckleball. He pitched for a long, long time. Luis Salazar, Doug Drabeck. I thought he was going to be a hot player, hot card to collect because he had a couple good years in the early 90s with Jim Leyland and the Pirates. Of course, they ran into the Braves in the playoffs, and that kind of sidetracked them, but still a solid career. 22-6 in 1990. Led the league in wins, I think. So, good year. Good player, but just never really panned out. Melito Perez, the brother of Pasquale. Von Purple Hayes. Jeff Treadway, never really panned out in Atlanta. Another rated rookie I've never heard of before, Scott Chiamparino. I guess that's how it's pronounced. So that's pack 1. And of course, all these are going to be underwhelming because it's just Donruss 91, and that's what it is. So it's just the fun of opening and see who's in there. And, obviously no threat of these packs being searched because there's nothing to search. After the underwhelming 1990 set of Donruss, which was in pure red, I guess the collector said we're not going to mess with 1991. Where's Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer? That's a good card to have. We'll pull that out to the side because he's a Hall of Famer. Rick Aguilera, Tom Flash Gordon. He had a couple good years. Greg Harris. Steve Avery, promising young pitcher for Atlanta, but just didn't hold up. Dave Martinez, current manager of the Nationals, who are leading in the World Series right now. 2-1, but they lost last night, so we'll see what happens tonight. Dave Martinez, Expos. Jim the Hound Dog Presley with Atlanta. Roger McDowell. Yvonne Calderon. Kevin Romine. Tim Cruz, who was tragically killed along with Steve Olin in a boating accident back in the early 90s. Darren Dalton. Scott Garrelts. Jose Oquendo, kind of a Swiss Army knife, played everywhere. Joe Oliver. And Pat Borders. So like I said, you don't open these sets hoping to find anything good. It's just the memory of opening packs back in the day. And I never really collected 91 Donruss, and I probably bought it cheaper now. I'm sure in 91 I couldn't have bought a whole box for $5. So, you wait, almost 18, 19 years, and you get a better deal. All right, Dana Kicker, never heard of him. Len Dykstra, there's the first Diamond King. Let's see what the Diamond Kings look like. Typical Diamond King style, although that's more of a portrait than a painting-looking thing rather than a picture. And then it gives you a little deal with the Diamond Kings. All right, Hubie Brooks, Keith Comstock, Hal Morris. Another Diamond King for Dave Magadan. He really didn't pan out. Another rated rookie, never heard of him either, Kevin Morton. So I don't have a clue what kind of year he had or career he had. Kevin Morton, no major league record on there, so don't know about him. I don't know if he ever made it to the majors. Rob Dibble, one of the Nasty Boys. Jamie Navarro. We're getting duplicates already in the third pack. Greg Olson's showing up again. Mike Heath. Randy Johnson highlight. No hits the Tigers. That's decent. A little Randy Johnson highlight. Anything with Randy Johnson's got to carry some weight to it, I guess. Barry Bonds, Diamond King. Look how slender he was back then. Dave Johnson of the Orioles. I'm living in Virginia, so I get the Mid-Atlantic Sports Network, and he's on one of the talk shows about baseball with the Orioles, so always neat to follow him. Paul Gibson, and then the puzzle, which is part of the sleeve of Willie Stargell. All right, believe it or not, that's only 3 packs. We got a lot to go. We'll try to get through this quickly without having it strewn on for an hour, but you never know. But sometimes it's just fun to sit back and open packs and whatever. All right, here's Randy Johnson again. So again, Randy Johnson, it's Randy Johnson. That's all you need to say. Mark Grant, John Kruk, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. I remember him from back in the day. He had a big prospect for the Yankees, but never panned out. So we'll put him with the rated rookies. Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. I think he's one of the coaches for the Yankees now, or at least used to be. Randy Myers, another nasty boy. Dan Plesac from the MLB Network, one of the better left-handed closers. Cal Ripken, Hall of Famer, so we'll put him over there. Alan Trammell, Hall of Famer, we'll put him over there. Bo Jackson, 4 consecutive home runs, highlight reel. Let's see here. He had 4 home runs and 4 consecutive plate appearances. How about that? Interesting. I'll hold it there if you want to pause it to read the rest of it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you wanted to pause it, you could. Kurt Stillwell Angel, another Diamond King. Matt Williams, former Nationals manager. Jeff Robinson. Mike Pagliarulo, former Yankee. Tim Naring. And David West with another piece of the puzzle. Could probably fit the whole puzzle together once I open all these packs, but that's not really my thing. But it beats swiping off old sticky gum. Fleer was my favorite because at least you got stickers, so at least that was something decent. You had the stickers you could collect, but not a whole lot going on with the puzzle pieces for Stargell. Templeton, Sammy Sosa, how about that, with a throwback Sox uniform from 1919 looking Sox. So Sammy Sosa, that's something worth throwing over there, I guess. Wade Boggs, All-Star, Hall of Famer. Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer. So some good Hall of Famers in there, just not, the cards don't hold any value to it, but they're fun to open. Derek May, he was, him and Jerome Walton both were Hot Cub rookies in '89. Didn't really pan out too well. Steve Fry, lefty specialist. Ed Whitson, who pitched well in San Diego, but when he went to the Yankees, just couldn't handle New York. Tom Glavine, Hall of Famer. So some good Hall of Famers in this pack. Larry Walker, borderline. People think he should be in the Hall. Kenny Rogers, the gambler. Bob Welch, the Diamond King. And Don Carmen. So some decent cards. They just don't hold the value. But I mean, for $5, I just don't think you can beat it. The problem with trying to buy these on eBay is you pay more for shipping than the box is worth, which is why I suggest going to a local card store like I did to do this. And you shouldn't pay more than about anything over $7 or $8 for this is probably overpriced. Mike Gallego, Don Paul, Daryl Ackerfields, Jeff Blauser, Bernard Gilkey. I remember him from the Cardinals in the early '90s. He had a decent career, but never really, don't know if he deserved a rated rookie or not, but they gave it to him. Tom Foley, we've seen that one before. Gerald Clark, we're hitting some duplicates again. Bob Welch, Spike Owen, these are all coming in succession. Charlie Huff, Salazar, Drabeck, yep, it's Melito Perez. Ken Caminiti, unfortunately, I think he fell to the steroid thing, and that may have caused his ultimate death, I don't know. But I remember seeing him in Double-A for the Columbus Astros when I was stationed at Fort Benning in 1986. Didn't get to see Bo Jackson because they were going to play the Memphis Chicks, but Kansas City called up Bo Jackson late in August and didn't get a chance to see him. I was hoping to see Bo, but didn't get to do it. All right, no-hitting the Mariners. I guess that's the combined no-hitter, Langston and Witt. Storm Davis, Kevin Reimer, Chris Hoyles, Mel Stottlemyre. His father was a famous pitching coach. Gary Carter. Hard to remember Carter with the Giants, but you just remember him more with the Expos and Mets. Dave Rigetti, Matt Noakes, Dan Gladden, Dwight Evans, Chuck Carey, Jerome Walton, the other half of the... it's interesting, Jerome Walton did not get the rated rookie where Dwight Smith did, but they were about the same. Kevin McReynolds and Will Clark. Will the Thrill was a good player, but just never... I mean, he's in the Hall of Very Good, not in the Hall of Fame. And another, of course, puzzle piece that we don't worry about. I may eventually pull all the puzzle pieces together and try to put the puzzle together just so I'd have something. Just besides throwing, I don't want to throw them out. So I may do that in my spare time. I don't know. All right. Bill Sampin, Greg Harris, Oscar Zokar. I remember him. He had came out pretty good for 1 year and just didn't really do anything after that. Shane Mack, Kent Merker, another one of those Braves pitchers. Bobby Bowe, we're here with the Pirates, but of course July 1st every year is Bobby Bonilla Day. Gets $1 million from the Mets. Gotta like that. I wish I had that retirement plan. Checklist, which is worthless. Darren Dalton. Tony Phillips. Talk about somebody that played all the positions. He played everywhere. Gene Nelson. Craig Worthington. Jose Uribe. Carlos Baerga. He was a good player. Thought he was going to do something special. He had a couple good years with the Indians, but certainly no Hall of Famer by any means. Bill Spires, Greg Gagne with the spoon, and Eric Yelding. So we're done there. All right, as we traipse along here on a Saturday morning / almost afternoon. October, I believe today is the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. All right, Scott Fletcher's the last Saturday before Halloween. Scott Fletcher, so it's a good thing to open some scary, worthless cards. Eric Anthony, Dan Gladden, Dwight Evans. All right, so we're starting to get repeats again. Julio Franco is new, Dennis Lamp, Steve Bridge too far. Trevor Wilson, Glenn Wilson, so back-to-back Wilsons there. Randy Birdnahan Bush, Mike Witt, Steve Olin, he's the other pitcher who got killed in that boating accident along with Tim Cruz. Steve Olin was a closer for the Indians, had a promising career, and they had that boating accident that unfortunately took their life. So his career was cut short when it could have been promising. We'll go to the next pack. And like I said, I shouldn't use the word worthless because I am getting a modicum of entertainment by going back in time and reminiscing about some of these players and opening the packs. And like I said, for $5, I think the entertainment value is there. Lonnie Smith, Rafael Palmeiro, Diamond King, Todd Stottlemyre, Joe Oliver again, Jose Oquendo again, Brooke Jacoby, one of the recipients Cleveland had one of the better trades in modern times, where they got Brett Butler and Brooke Jacoby from Atlanta for Len Barker. There's probably some other people in that trade, but those are the two that I remember the most, Jacoby and Butler. Jeff King, Cal Ripken All-Star, Pop Tewksbury, Jim Abbott. He was a phenom, born without a right hand, so he had to hold his glove that way. He actually threw a no-hitter. Good pitcher for a couple of years, and really neat. He was able to work around his disability to get that done. Edgar Diaz, Dwayne Ward, Jeff Reardon. There's the doctor, Dwight Gooden, but by 1991, he was pretty much done. He was just trying to hang on, I guess. And here's Mike Moore. All right, so we sally forth through some more packs. I just like opening packs. I mean, granted, I probably like it better if it was not these puzzle pieces, but you know. And sometimes with the gum, that's kind of interesting too, to see what the gum looks like. But still fun nonetheless. Here's another Will Clark, Lonnie Smith, Palmeiro again. So we're starting to get a lot of duplicates here. Joe Oliver, Kendo, Jacoby. Boy, we're really hitting some duplicates. Leo Gomez was a rated rookie for the Orioles. He had a couple of good years, but nothing to write home about. I mean, he was around a couple of years. Jose Canseco, All-Star. Todd Zeal, Tim Leary, Hector de Villanueva, John Smoltz, Hall of Famer John Smoltz. Marquise Grissom, a solid player. And the wild thing, Mitch Williams rounds out the pack with the Cubs. Of course, he's probably more well known for giving up that home run to Joe Carter that ended the 1993 World Series back when he pitched for the Phils. All right, Bill Sampson, Oral Hershiser had the consecutive, or still has, I guess, the consecutive innings, scoreless innings streak. Glenn Allen Hill, Jeff Brantley, Mitch Webster, Jay Bell, one of the best bunters of all time. Alan Mills, John Mazzarno, Jeff Hewson, Donnie Hill, Righetti again, David West again, Francisco Cabrera. He had the big hit in 1992 that scored Sid Bream for the Braves to beat the Pirates in the NLCS, or it might have been 91. I don't remember which year. I think it might have been 91, actually. I don't remember off the top of my head. Joe Carter, another bad trade when they traded Carter and Alomar to the Blue Jays for Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez. That was a dumb trade the Padres made. Doug Drabeck, they traded two Hall of Famers for the other two who are not in the Hall of Fame, although Fred McGriff may get consideration. But still a really, really bad trade. I thought so at the time, and as a Padre fan, I really didn't like it. But I wasn't the GM, so what are you going to do? Steve Bedrosian, Bedrock. There's Franklin Stubbs. I kind of like that picture. Some of these, whether the cards are any good or not, if their photos are good, it's kind of neat. I'm trying to figure out. It looks like they're playing somebody in spring training. It might be the Cubs. I can't really tell. It might be the Phillies. Could actually be at the Vet against the Phils. It could be Dykstra. I really don't know. It's hard to tell. My eyes aren't that good. But anyway, here's Mattingly. Can't go wrong with the Don Mattingly card. Donnie Baseball. Alan Mills. Henry Cotto. Another, Moises Alou. I forgot about Moises Alou. He was actually the left fielder for the Cubs in the Steve Bartman game when he was trying to catch that foul pop, and Steve Bartman got in the way, the infamous Steve Bartman. And Moises Alou was the left fielder for the Cubs in that game. He had a couple of good years. Jose Canseco All-Star again. Zeal, we're hitting some repeats. Dante Bichette, his son Bo Bichette, is a hot rookie card to get right now. Roger Clemens. Don't know if he's going to get into the Hall of Fame through the Veterans Committee eventually or not, but some people seem to think he will. Mike McFarland, Mark Eichhorn, another one of those sidewinding right-handers. Manny Lee, John Farrell, former Red Sox manager. People think he might get another managing job somewhere. And Bryn Smith. So, if nothing else, some of these names are bringing back memories for me. Some players I had totally forgotten about. Some players I'd like to forget, but some players that were actually pretty decent that I've forgotten about. But brings back memories. Chuck Carey, Jerome Walton again. Kevin Elster, Greg Litton, Paul Ossenmacher, Tim Tuffle, Willie Blair, Jerry Brown, Jose Leand, Corey Snyder, Phil Plantier. I remember that name from the Red Sox, rated rookie. I think he played with some other teams, Padres maybe. Big, powerful left-handed hitter, but just didn't work out the way they thought he might. Steve Sachs, All-Star, Bob Tewksbury, Jim Abbott again, and Bill Spires. As we continue down the box, it's almost like it's a chore to get through these things, but I'm having fun. I don't know if anybody else is. I know a lot of times I enjoy watching other people break junk wax boxes just to bring back memories. They don't have to be high dollar stuff. There's no hits in here for sure. Casey Candell, Bob Boone, Mark Grant, Bob Melvin, Junior Felix, Jose Oquendo, John Kruk, Tim Naring, Steve Finley, Steinbach, Jeff Brantley, Carlos Baerga, Mark Portugal, and Lance Johnson in those old White Sox uniforms. You're bound to get lots of doubles because this is only Series 1, so there's only about 300 and some cards in the set of Series 1. And with these packs having 15 cards and there's 36 packs, you do the math, you're bound to get many, many duplicates. All right, we got another White Sox throwback here with Jack McDowell, Black Jack McDowell. He would go on to have a couple of good years, particularly in '93 when the White Sox went to the ALCS. Scott Bradley, checklist, Delano DeShields, Tim Cruz again, Scott Bankhead, Eric Davis. He was a top guy to get in the late 80s, baseball card-wise, middle to late 80s. He was a hot rookie card to go after. Mark Lewis, didn't really pan out to anything. Cleveland Indians rated rookie. Greg Maddux, Hall of Famer. Robin Yount, Hall of Famer. So back-to-back Hall of Famer. And that's Billy Ripken. I thought it was Cal Ripken. That's Billy Ripken. Definitely not a Hall of Famer. And there's nothing on the bat handle to worry about. Juan Samuel, Gary Carter. Breaks catching mark. What catching mark did he break? Hall of Famer, all those, most games caught in the NL. Okay, interesting. Did not know that. All right, some of these, the wax on this or whatever they use to sort them, it's not tearing off quite as well for me as I would like. And actually, this is a decent puzzle piece for a change to actually get like the whole main body there. And I really like those Pirates uniforms. These are the Pirates uniforms I'd love to see them go back to. Sometimes they wear them on throwbacks, but I really like those uniforms. All right, Sergio Valdez. He sounds like a singer. Bo Jackson. Craig Biggio, Diamond King. Mike Morgan. Ken Griffey Jr. So definitely Hall of Famer there. Of course, his 89 Upper Deck is the one to get, which I don't have and I can't afford. Mario Duncan, Mike Bielecki, Cecil Fielder, Rob Dibble, Willie Randolph, Mike Scioscia, Pete O'Brien, Dana Keeker again, don't know who that is, Dave Martinez again, and Greg Harris. So we're definitely getting into, whoops, just knocked over in there, sorry about that. Trying to reach for the pack. Let me pull this in a little bit closer. I definitely don't want to tip anything over. Maybe that woke somebody up if you were sleeping through this. I don't know. All right. Tom Hinkie. Devon White. Pedro Guerrero, Diamond King. Carney Lansford, solid player. Sharpison. Mike Blowers, another worthless checklist. Ramon Martinez, Diamond King. Tim Belcher. Scott Bankhead, another Eric Davis. Darren Dalton. Terry Spross. I've never heard of him. I don't think he ever made the major leagues. If he did, he didn't last long. Chris Sabo. Always liked Chris Sabo. I love those goggles. So I always liked Chris Sabo. Dave Hansen, another rookie, rated rookie. Didn't really do much, but they thought enough of him to make him a rated rookie. So, but for the most part, Donruss, I think they missed a lot over the years on their rated rookies. Some of those guys they rated as rated rookies, you're like, who is this guy? Some of them they did hit on, but some of them they didn't. That's for sure. Colby Ward, Norm Charlton, Kevin Brown, Frazier, Calvin Schiraldi, another Greg Maddux, Corey Snyder, Lonnie Smith, Jeff Robinson, Mike Witt, Randy Bush, Chris Hoyles, Fletcher, Carmen, Bergman, and Daniels. So except for Greg Maddux, nothing else there. But again, I'm not looking for anything in these packs. I know I'm not going to get anything to this pack, so the expectation is 0. So it's just a matter of having fun and looking at some cards of some guys you grew up watching or remember watching earlier in your life, and just bringing back some memories. Malachi, Lemon, Bip Roberts, Bobby Thigpen. He set the record at one point for the most saves. Of course, that's been surpassed, but I believe by Diaz of Seattle holds the record now, or of the Mets now, formerly of Seattle. But back in the early 90s, Thigpen held that record. Al Whitney Worry Newman, Dave Stewart. It was a horse in the late 80s, early 90s for the A's. Willie Frazier, Charlie Hayes, Jim Presley, Mark Salas, Tim Burke, Greg Briley, another John Smoltz. Can't go wrong with the Hall of Famer. And then Jeff Russell and Marquise Grissom. So again, the repetition is starting. No, it's actually past starting. It's coming up quite a bit, but that's okay. You got, like I said, you got to expect that. One of these days, I'm going to open up a box that's actually worth something. But just starting out, you know, I want to, before I invest in a whole lot of stuff, I want to make sure that that I really want to do that, and people really might want to watch something like that. So anyway, Lloyd Mosby, Bruce Hurst, Robin Ventura. He made the mistake of challenging Nolan Ryan, charging the mound, and Nolan Ryan got him in a headlock and pretty much pounded him. Luis Polonia, John Franco, Wayne Edwards, Cal Ripken, another Hall of Famer, Alan Trammell, another Hall of Famer, Randy Johnson, another Hall of Famer, Rigetti, Flash Gordon, Petrali, Oil Can Boy. Looks funny seeing him with the Expos. Just doesn't look right. Nolan Ryan, Hall of Famer, and a Roger Clemens Diamond King. So we're getting some decent Hall of Famers, but like I said, it's not anything worth anything. Now, I did not own a 91 Donruss card before I bought this box, so all these cards are new to me. Whether they're worth anything or not, they're still new to me, so that's not like I'm just collecting stuff to collect dust. These are new to me, so it's, you know, kind of nice to open up fresh 18-year-old cards right out of the pack. Jeff Ballard. Lou Whitaker. People think he should be in the Hall of Fame if Trammell's going to be there, but it's a borderline. I see him as a Hall of Very Good, not a Hall of Fame. Tim Jones. Of course, I think the same of Trammell. Biggio, Harnish, Henneman, Roberts, Thigpen again, Shane Mack, Walt Three Blonde Weiss, Greg Hibbard back in those throwbacks, Mark McGwire All-Star, Greg Olson, nice young catcher for the Braves back in their World Series runs, or not World Series runs, but in their, I guess it was their World Series runs. And Jose Offerman, he had a decent career, rated rookie. Another Dave Martinez again. I think that's 3 Dave Martinez's we found in here. So let's keep it going. Whittling down our way through the pack, or through the box rather. And I may put the Willie Stargell puzzle together and show that in another video at some point. Dwight Gooden again, Mike Moore, Jack McDowell. We're starting to see a lot of repetition here. Mickey Morandini, rated rookie. I forgot about Mickey Morandini. He was a gutsy little player for the Phillies in the early 90s. Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer. Can't go wrong with Tony Gwynn. I think it's the first one of him I've got out of this box. Ken Griffey Jr. again, which can't go wrong with him. Duncan Howell, Mark Lewis. We've seen that one before. Greg Maddux, another Hall of Famer. So a lot of good cards in this set, or this box rather. Yount, Hall of Famer. So a couple of Hall of Famers in that pack, so that was pretty good. Pretty good for 91 Donruss. I mean, you can only do so well. So at least getting some of the Hall of Famers, which is kind of neat. And some, obviously, like I said, I don't have any of these cards before, so they're all new to me. So I enjoy it. Bill Landrum, Junior Felix, Jay Bell again, Jeff Brantley, Gagne, Norm Charlton, Kevin Brown, Charlie Hayes, Willie Frazier, Bobby Witt, John Dobson, Brett Saberhagen, first Saberhagen I've seen, Terry Shumpert, and Tommy Gregg. So not a whole lot in that pack. But I do think that Series 1 has got to be better than Series 2, because Series 2, like I said, is that awful looking green outfit. So I prefer the blue borders as opposed to the green borders. Greg Harris, Steve Avery, Mike Fitzgerald, Jeff Russell, a Barry Larkin Diamond King, Bobby Bonilla. Maybe I can pull a Barry Larkin base card out of this. Combs, Romine, Righetti Diamond King, Gordon, Petrali, Dobson, and Saberhagen. So nothing to write home about there. But then again, you're not going to find anything to write home about in these sets, in these boxes, for this particular year. So just do it for the fun of it. Gary Carter, Nolan Ryan, Bill Sampson. Since it's Nolan Ryan, I'll put it over there, just not, even though it's a different kind of card. Bobby Witt, Bruce Hurst. Again, we're getting into duplicates. Robin Ventura, Newman, Stewart, Frazier, Hayes. I would like to get a Barry Larkin one, though. That would be kind of neat to be something different. Greg Cadare, that's a new one. The Hawk, Andre Dawson. He's a Hall of Famer. And Bob Boone. All right, we're whittling our way down. Thank you for still watching. I'm having fun on a Saturday morning. Something different. We'll be, of course, playing the Game 3 of the 1986 World Series in the next video. And that'll be on on Status Pro. All right, Kevin Mitchell. Nolan Ryan again. Another Roger Clemens Diamond King. This would have been in 91. You thought you would hit the gold, but little did we know this wasn't going to be worth much. Carlton Fisk, that's got to be one of his last cards, because he was up there this time of his career. Wade Boggs, I think it's the first Wade Boggs I pulled, so that's a good one. Deion James, Ozzie Smith, another Hall of Famer. Lance Parrish, Dave Magadan. Fred McGriff, borderline. People think he might get into the Hall through the veterans. It's hard to say. Terry Kennedy and Casey Candell. All right, we're almost to the bottom of the box. And like I said, for $5, I don't think you can beat it. I wouldn't pay $10 or $15 for it, and that's what you do on eBay by the time you pay shipping. So I would definitely, if you like these old things, I would try to find a local card store and go there and get them if you can find them. Dave Smith, Mattingly, Alan Mills, Mitch Webster, Wally Backman, Cadare, Dawson again, another Hall of Famer, Boone, Mitchell, Mark Grace. He's like Will Clark. He's kind of in that very good range, but not quite the Hall of Fame range. Sandy Alomar, Junior Felix, Rudy Cienez, and Bryn Smith. So I think we're down now. Yep. Got 5 packs left. Down to our final 4 in the box after this is opened. We'll be down to the final 4. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit that. I'm trying to open these around my camera stand, so which is sitting on a little box. So I bump it to the box. It bumps the camera, unfortunately. Danny Jackson, Mark Knudsen, Eric Anthony, Jeff Blauser, Bernard Gilkey. I think we've had that rated rookie before. Lee Guterman, Ricky Henderson All-Star, Keith Miller. Well, he's a Hall of Famer, so I'll throw him over there. Keith Miller, Brett Butler. First one of him, I think. George Brett. I think it's the first one I've seen of him. Kennedy, Candell, Pasqua, Steve Lake, and Steve Olin. All right, final 4. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Now we're down. I think we've got the final. I think we're down to the final. We got 6 left. My bad. I didn't do my counting correctly. There are actually 6 packs left. So we get to go a little further. 6 packs remaining. Open 30, there's 6 more to go. And I would assume I have enough now to do a Willie Stargell puzzle. If I can't complete the puzzle after all this, I don't know what to tell you. Here's Ken Griffey, Sean Bosky, Paul Gibson, Gary Templeton, Sammy Sosa, Wade Boggs, All-Star, Eckersley, Hall of Famer, Mark McGwire, 2 steroid boys in the same pack. All we need now is Canseco. Daniels, Vizquel, Reed, and people wanted to give Vizquel some looks for a Hall of Fame. I'm not sure he quite fits that mold. Bobby Thickpen, Diamond King, Fernando, first Fernando. Fernando Mania was wild about 10 years before the set came out in 81. Fernando Mania had the hold on the country. Fernando Mania. I did it again when I was reaching for the cards. I gotta move my stack out of the way. That's the problem. I had to reach around my stack of commons. Well, they're all commons, but you know, the ones that aren't rated rookies or Hall of Famers. Got a big stack over to my right off camera, and when I try to go around them, I hit my camera. Rivera, Sandy Alomar, Jose De Leon, Steve Finley, Ron Robinson, Kelly Gruber, Sandberg Diamond King. So we're starting to get a few more different looks. Jimmy Key, solid lefty. So these are some newer cards I haven't seen yet. Colby Ward, never heard of him. Ken Oberkfell, wish I'd never heard of him. Juan Berenguer, Phil Plantier, rated rookie. We've seen that one before. Ray Langford, rated rookie. I don't think we've seen that one before. Ray Langford had a couple of good years with the Cardinals. Stan Javier and Randy Johnson. Okay, can't go wrong with Randy Johnson right at the end there, hiding in the background. We'll take it. As we wind things down, which is good because we're almost at 37 minutes and I don't want this to last forever. I like to have fun, but you know, after a while it gets to be tedious. All right, there's that Franklin Stubbs card again that I like so much, just by the photography on it. Oscar Azucar, Alvaro Espinoza, Jesse Orozco, Mark Guthrie, Guterman, Ricky Henderson, All-Star, Keith Miller, Brett Butler, Mark Grace, Alomar, Manny Lee, John Farrell, and Tom Pagnazzi. So I'm still looking for the Barry Larkin. That's the one that's missing out of this. I'd like to see a Barry Larkin card. That'd be a nice one to pull, just to add to the Hall of Fame stack. See if we can get it. Mark Grant, John Kruk, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. I think he was in the first pack. Now he shows up again. Daryl, Please Come to Boston. Mark McGwire, Cal Daniels, Tom Cotton Candiotti, Bob Patterson, Kurt Stillwell, Diamond King, Matt Williams, Diamond King, Jeff Robinson, Pagliarulo, Tim Naring, David West, and Mike Let Go Gallego. So now we are down to, are we down to our final 2? Yep, we're down to our final 2 packs. Okay, how about that? Last 2 packs of the box. And of course the box I'll use to put all the commons in. Or I mean all the non Hall of Famers in. Alright, Kenny Rogers, Bob Welch, Don Carmen, Scott Fletcher, Greg Olson, Dave Bergman, Carlton Fisk, Steve Fry, Mark Williamson, Lance McCullers, first one I've seen of him I think, Glenn No Brags Just Facts, Steve Bridge Too Far, Trevor Wilson, Glenn Wilson, and Randy Bush. Alright, last pack, last chance for me to pull a Barry Larkin, which is the one card, one Hall of Famer that I haven't seen yet, that I can recall I haven't seen yet, is Barry Larkin. So that would be the only thing that would make this a better box, is to find Barry Larkin. Now Jim Leyritz, haven't seen him yet, so potentially we got some new cards in here. Bob Guerin, Alex Fernandez, he was a hot prospect in the early 90s for the White Sox, didn't really pan out. Jay Bell, Ryan Sandberg highlight, sets fielding record. Fielding record, span 123 games without making an error. Pretty good there for Rhino. Lee Brooks, Keith Comstock, Hal Morris. I don't see Barry Larkin coming. Magadan, Kevin Morton, never heard of him as a rated rookie. So there's our rated rookie stack. Jimmy Key, Colby Ward, Milt Thompson, Joel Skinner, and a checklist, a Diamond King checklist rather, to finish it off. So there's your Hall of Fame stack. There's your rated rookie stack. And then way over here is all your the other, oops, and I just made a big mess by knocking the over. It's like Jenga. I feel like I'm playing Jenga. Hopefully nobody ever has to go through that torture of playing Jenga. But that's one of those gifts you give somebody at Christmas when you don't like them. Give them a box of Jenga. All right, so there you go. And I may come back later. Oops, if I can find it. I may come back later and put together the puzzle. We'll have to wait and see. But that's going to do it from now. If you can see the wrapping mess I've got over to my left, I'll just show a little bit of it. There you go, all those wrappers. So going to the dump this afternoon, so it's a good time to do it so I can clear all this stuff out. I'll save the puzzle pieces and throw out the wrappers, box the rest of these up, and there you go. That is the 1991 Donruss Series 1 junk wax box. Paid $5 for it. I think I got $5 worth of entertainment out of that. You can be the judge. But at least I feel like I got my $5 entertainment out of it. Plus I got some, let's look through some of the Hall of Famer cards. You know, Ricky, Randy Johnson. So I mean, they don't have a lot of worth, but they're still nice to have Hall of Famer cards regardless. So, and they are definitely in pristine condition, that's for sure, coming right out of the packs. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that walk down memory lane with some junk wax. As my budget gets better, hopefully as it gets better, I'll be able to open up some better valued boxes. But for right now, I'm concentrating on the cheap stuff because that's where my budget lies. So until next time, hope you enjoy whatever box you choose to open, whatever products you choose to collect. And if you're playing a game, whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road with Game 3 of the 1986 World Series on Status Pro. That'll be the next video that we'll post probably tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.